to my Virgo moon. Happy lunar return. My moon is in Virgo. We love it here. Hey, Mr. Rich. So today I want to talk about Virgo moon. I want to talk about Virgo energy because we have the moon and we have Venus in alignment. I don't know if you guys looked up and saw the beautiful crescent moon and Venus literally right there next to our baby, looking bright and beautiful. It actually is very picturesque outside and you can see it with your own eyes. You don't need a telescope. I definitely was outside tonight and I was looking and I was like, oh my gosh, look at the moon and Venus. So beautiful here. Um, but yeah, let's get started. So not only do we have the moon and Venus over there, but we also have it's the south node, right? Yeah, south node. We have the south node in Virgo as well, which is our comfort zone. You know what we have been comforted in, and we know that Virgo deals with like our routines, our habits, the moral and integral code that's tied into our communication and our expressions, our routines and habits. Our being grounded in like practicality, being practical. However, sometimes if the Virgo energy is overactive, the practicality can be criticism, put downs. I always like overthinking into like negativity. So being aware of that overactivity in Virgo energy, which will bring you into hermit mode, obsessions, addictions, overthinking, overanalyzing. So the moon is there. The moon is the celestial womb giving birth, while Venus is the heart chakra. And I talked about this earlier today in today's mathematics. You know, um, we are aligning our thoughts, our intellect, our ability to harvest with our celestial womb, right? Because the day started on a 1 and 7, one being knowledge and 7 being the celestial designer, God. So one is Ketter's, Aquarius is intellectual energy. This is Aquarius. We know the swords, the air energy always deals with intellect and different facets of socializing. And then 7 is also an air energy. If you think about Libra with the swords, however, it's also Venus, Venusian, the heart. And when we put our thoughts and our heart together, we get to the 8, the building and destruction. So it's like the celestial alignments reflected that in their own way, with the moon being that our intuition, how we feel, ruling over our third eye, our nurturing spirit, us at our most comfort self, and Venus being what I desire, what I want to design, what I value, what I prioritize, what boosts my self-esteem. And we want to be practical in this. We want to harvest these things. We want to be grounded in this energy. We want to make it a part of our daily routine to take care of our womb and our hearts, right? I know on a personal scale, for those of you guys who do not know, I've been, pulled to take care of my health a lot more. I've always been very conscientious of my diet, taking herbs and exercising. However, I haven't been as intentional with my health as I should be. And I recently had like a womb health scare because of it. So, I've definitely been getting pulled into this cancer energy. And, also a little insight on me being, transparent, vulnerable with you. My Chiron is in Cancer. So this is where I transmute my wounds into strengths. So womb healing is definitely on the forefront for me. Healing home and family energy, my nurturing self, emotions, things like that are also on the forefront. And, whatever you guys, wherever you guys may have your cancer energy in, whether it's your sun, your experiences, having more nurturing experiences, your moon, having your comfort spaces more nurturing, your throat chakra, speaking in a nurturing way. Your Venus being in Cancer is, loving in a very nurturing way, etc., etc. Mars being motivated to nurture. Mars is in Cancer. Mars kind of is battling that energy a little bit. You might find yourself a little bit slow and steady than the average person, or even within like the regular expectations of the workforce. Mars and Cancer might have a little bit of difficulty in acclimating to the workforce energy, or workforce expectations. You know what I'm saying? So that's all Virgo, wants us to be intellectual so that we can analyze, what it is that we want to design. What do we desire in our space? This is where we align our Sebek energy with our Netzach, right? Because not only do we want to design, but we also want to find the components that are necessary to design. So it's not just seeing the big picture, but what are the elements that are required to create this big picture? Where are we labeling and compartmentalizing the parts to the picture? And this helps bring it into the physical. It helps us give birth to it. Says the moon. I want to help you guys, says the celestial, womb. And this is all happening in the fifth house. So we're being creative. We're in a child energy with it. We are placing this once again in our hearts, as Leo energy does rule over the Tippereth, which is the sacred heart, the heart that's on fire, if you will. So, all of that is there. And so, in addition to Virgo getting into the cross of mutable energy, we can get into Lilith being over there in Sagittarius in the 8th house, being primordial, showing us, parts of self that we repress or we suppress, or parts of self that other people try to repress or suppress in us. And right now it's in that Sagittarius energy. Right now it's in that space of expansion, abundance, traveling, going beyond rules, because Sagittarius is like the chokma, it's the chesed in comparison to Bina, understanding, restriction, discipline, and order, which is that Saturn energy, or in relation to Javora, which is Mars, which deals with some sort of discipline and order, as Javora, asserts boundaries. So, when we deal with Sagittarius energy, we're going beyond all the rules. We're doing what we desire. We're in our pleasure seeking energy and all that fun stuff, right? And that's where Lilith is at. Lilith is the primordial energy, and it's saying it's time for us to expand. It's time for us, to break rules and for our joy, for our pleasure, for you have foreign interactions. Here we are getting our intellect not just from what we're accustomed to from our culture and things like that, but we're expanding beyond that. So like I said, we have the South Node in Virgo that's giving us like, okay, we're dealing with our comfort zone here of, where we're coming from in our intellect when it comes to emotions and aligning our heart and harvesting the things. And Lilith says, not only do you do what you're accustomed to, what your skill set, it already is, but we're going beyond that too. We're to infinity and beyond with it. We're breaking rules, we're doing different things. Here you want to be mindful of any levels of addiction, obsession, because just like Virgo can put you in over analytic and not a little bit, I know Virgos can put you in addiction spaces. Sagittarius can put you in a space of addiction too. Then on the other side, we have Pisces energy, our mutable waters, and we have the North Node there. This is the direction we're going to. So we're coming from intellect, the logic, being in our mind, being in routine, compartmentalizing everything. And spiritually, as a collective, we're moving towards that, what we feel, our sensitivities, getting into the Akashic records of things, getting into, hidden agendas, anything that's hidden beneath the horizon. See, Virgo is very much on the surface of the things, being practical and grounded on the earth of the things with the harvest, whereas Pisces is like in the deep Olukun waters, to the unknown, the subconscious, the dream realms, the inspiration, so and it's not to do away with the Virgo energy. That's not what we want to do. It's to learn how to blend both together, blend the earth and the water together, the deep analytical earth energy and the deep waters of the unknown. Okay, so we're putting both of those together. Fortune is also here in Pisces energy, and that's in the 11th house. So that's when we start dealing with society. Electronic communication is also here with that 11th house Aquarius energy, being revolutionary with our sensitivities, going into, take a deep breath. For some of you guys that know how to tap into your Akashic records, I would take some time to tap into your Akashic records. Find out who the revolutionaries are in your genetic code, and how to tap into those individuals, because between, that the North Node being in Pisces and Lilith being in Sagittarius, it would do you well to tap into those energies. Can you shout out my cousin for coming clean? His name is Dixon Myers. Shout out to your cousin, love. And then on the other side of the mutable cross, we have our air, which is Gemini. Gemini deals with community and communication, like traveling. And we have Mars and Uranus there. So our motivation, our anger, our triggers, and Uranus giving us the progressive pushes, the rebellious energy, is happening here. It's happening towards the second house. So it's affecting how we obtain what we value and what we prioritize, which is pretty exciting. So all in all, with this cross, it's like taking what you already know, what has already been in your routine, what you've already, been comfortable with designing and harvesting in your space. We know what we're comfortable with doing. You know what your habits are. Monday through Friday I do this, or Thursday through Sunday 7 to 3, whatever it is. You guys know how to move that Virgo energy. You guys been trained so well. And we're going to nurture that part of self, because that part of self has kept us very safe in the physical realm, right? We have this knowledge, but now it's time to get more creative with it, says the fifth house. We don't want to keep staying in the same, rigmarole. And you might feel it in your spirit, especially if you're tapped in to your personal Lilith placement. You find out where your Lilith is and align this aspect to the Lilith being in Sagittarius, because the Lilith in Sagittarius right now is like expand, bigger, more. So like, say if your Lilith was in Capricorn, your Lilith was pretty close, to Sagittarius. So Lilith and Sagittarius is saying, we want more, we want big, we want more expansion. We want you to break out of some of that discipline and that routine, that order, all those things. And people could be jealous of you because how orderly you have always been, how you be about your money, how you move slow and steady, and you're reliable and dependable, and even a leader in the physical realm. Thank you for the likes, Natalie. And so Lilith and Sagittarius could be saying, and we're gonna keep aligning. We're gonna align with more people, places, things, situations that are foreign to us, that are outside of us. And that eighth house says we're gonna create transformations here too. Empowering transformations, empowering revelations, all of those things. So that's just one example. You talk about where your Lilith is and get into the aspects. You can get into the numerology with the degrees of the differences where they are. All those different things. You can get real deep into it to find out how your personal Lilith is being influenced by this collective Lilith. But yeah, the energy is saying, hey y'all, we know y'all accustomed to doing things how y'all accustomed to do it. But if you want to, really tap into whatever side of earth, whatever side of the harvest that you claim you want to be a part of, you're really going to have to break some rules. You're really going to have to go against the grain. You're really going to have to expand and in confidence and courageousness, and know that some of it has already been, not some of it, all of it has already been written. It's all in the Pisces, it's all in the Akashic records, it's all in the primordial waters. Water holds memory, and there's nothing new under the sun. So all you really need to do for real is tap into yourself to get expanded into the space. Now, Virgo is the earth energy. Virgo is mutable earth. We done went through the mutable cross for you guys to see that the what is in the cross that's being bared. Who's bearing the mutable cross, and what does it feel like for you guys? And it feels like y'all moving to be rebellious. You'll see more earth signs come into the more mutable signs come into the forefront to kind of bend and flex on how things have always been done, and show you guys that there's new ways of doing things. You'll see more rebellious energy, more Mars or warlike, militant-like energy coming from Geminis and Gemini placements, okay? Because the rebellious Uranus is over there with the active Mars. You'll see more nurturing energy the next couple days from Virgo energy, especially as the moon starts to enter Virgo constellation, which I think it officially is. No, we got like a few more. Maybe by like the end of Saturday, the moon will be entering Virgo constellation. So you will know more nurturing experiences from there. Definitely emotional, being practical with our emotions and being practical with what we desire and how we're designing it. And so this takes your ideas that seem so big and grandiose and unrealistic and really chops it up for you guys so you guys can achieve it. And you'll start to attract some experiences and some intellect that's going to help you do that too. So don't turn people, places, things, situations, opportunities away. Even if you feel like, oh, maybe I don't add up to this, maybe I'm not good enough, and The fortune is over there in Pisces, so it's really about what you tell your subconscious. If you're telling the deep waters in your body, remember we talked about this yesterday, you are the cup of water. And if you're speaking into your cup of water, telling yourself you can't do something, guess what? You're not going to. But if you are in your mind saying, oh, maybe I can't do this, maybe you could be turning away an opportunity that's going to teach you how to do it, teach you how to be good enough, teach you all the different ways you can get it done. All right. And you're just in the way. So move. Get the fuck out the way. Okay. So mutable earth is Virgo. Then we're going to get into cardinal earth, which we got into heavy the other day. We don't have any celestial bodies here on the tropical chart, but we do have the MC line here in the ninth house. So expansion and abundance, joy. Once again, breaking those rules, expanding beyond those laws and those rules that we have going on, the restrictions, the disciplines, and the orders, and also expanding beyond the challenges that are coming to you guys. I know we're getting hit with challenges left and right, left and right, left and right, and that's a part of the big scheme of Pluto being in Capricorn constellation, Aquarius zodiac. It's time to be revolutionary. You know, you guys are going to keep getting pushed until y'all don't have no choice but to be more revolutionary, to start breaking rules, to start going against the grain, to start saying, hey, y'all no longer qualified to govern. You know what I'm saying? This has been an experience of the incompetent and the mediocre, and we're just not going to take it anymore. I think we give certain energies too much credit. We kind of put these energies on a pedestal of they must be intellectual, they must be powerful, they must be this, they must be that. And that's a lot of Hollywood's doing that has conditioned us to thinking like these entities are so big, mysterious, and scary. But if anything, one of my favorite movies is The Wiz. And if The Wiz taught you anything, that big bad guy behind the curtain is really some little scared ass nigga from New Jersey. So, having that sense of awareness is definitely key. And so we just want to keep expanding and rising above all these challenges that are coming our way. Now, when we get into fixed earth, we are getting into Taurus energy, and we love it here. And Taurus energy actually has Chiron at 0 degrees before Chiron hits its retrograde coming up later on. But Chiron deals with how we transmute our wounds. And right now we have to work on transmuting our wounds in the physical. So while the moon and Venus are nurturing, in Virgo, what we harvest, what we're accustomed to harvesting, our routine, our rituals that are aligned with our harvest, Chiron is like, let's transmute some of these wounds that you have accumulated with not having enough, not feeling enough, not, having the things, the material things, having this imbalance with how you feel versus what you have. And I know what's heavy for all of my earth babies, I have majority of my placements are earth placements, like 90% of my placements are all earth placements. And I know when my materials is not right, I don't feel good. And I've been working on that and healing that heavily. Chiron and Taurus is definitely teaching that with all of us as a collective. It's not always about the things. How you feel matters, and it should be what's on the inside that affects what's on the outside, not what's on the outside to affect what's in the inside. And Chiron just wants to help y'all turn those wounds into strength. But first and foremost, we have to recognize the wounds. Some of us haven't recognized them yet because our mindset is, oh, I'm going to go get more, or I'm going to try harder, and I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to get another job. Why? Because these are all things that we were trained. These were all things that we were taught. If you don't have something that you want, if this not working out, what do? You keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working. And then you get burnt out. And then your health starts failing. And then you look around and realize, where's your friends at? You're missing out on memories. You're missing out on things. Because why? Because you were trying to fill a void with things. And you felt like if you just put your head down and keep working, it's going to feel better. But it doesn't feel better. There's something wrong here. And it's affecting us. It's affecting us on a psychological level, on an intellectual level, heavily. Some of us are so far out into this Chiron and Taurus wound that, we completely have disconnected from the physical experience. Hello, Amber. How you doing, love? The physical experience is supposed to be us experiencing ourselves. This is the most condensed part of our org body. Actually, your physical body is only like 10% of your existence, to be honest. This is the smallest part of you, and we give it the most credit because it's the most taxing. We've allowed it to become the most taxing, and it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. So Chiron really wants to transmute this wound, but like I said, first you guys have to recognize that the wound even exists because we've been so trained to look outward into more. We look outward for religious comfort. We look outward to find God. We look outward for energy. We look outward for confidence and self-esteem. We look outward for affirmations. We look outward for recognition. We're always looking outward, looking outward, looking outward. Chiron and Taurus says, wait a minute, let's go back in. Let's go back into your heart. Where's your heart at? Is it light? Is it righteous? Is it honest? Is it true? Is it loving? Is it giving? Are there some calluses here? Are we taking care of ourselves? What is Venus? Venus is the heart. Heart is the blood. You know what I'm saying? That flows. So it's like, what's happening here? You guys good? Are we good here on our heart health? These are questions to ask though. So I'm gonna read you guys out and let y'all go. I hope you guys had enjoyed the earth mutable vibes. But the vibe for today is strength. We got motherwort, we got strength. We got the alignment of the heart to the celestial womb. That's Venus to the moon, which together right now are in Virgo. They're having a great time in Virgo, but they are in the Leo constellation still. So even though we are in Virgo zodiac, we're still in the Leo constellation. So this is the line. We have the Venus symbol up there. Please focus on your Venus right now. Where's your Venus placement? My Venus placement just so happens to be in Virgo, so this is fun here for me. My Venus placement is actually in Virgo Leo energy. So I'm having my Venus return. I'm having my lunar return has not happened yet. My lunar return will probably be tomorrow because my moon is also on Venus. But this is calling on you strength. Strength on a 13 too. 13 is a karmic number. 13 also deals with the moon. This is learning how to take action, take leadership on how you feel, what you wish to express. And when we express what we know, it becomes karmic, because karma just means energy. It just means action. And it's just calling on you to take action. And when we take action, 1 and 3 come together and make 4, which brings us into chesed, culture, and supreme mathematics, right? And so once we come into that 4, we create a celestial blueprint for ourselves, a divine law by us, stepping in. Also, trusting the world, trusting the universe, being a part of the above and below. This is the alignment of Pisces and Virgo. I think I feel with Venus and the moon in Virgo. It's time to align our mind and our hearts together. They were never supposed to be battling each other. We've been taught, we've been conditioned, we've been socialized into thinking that, oh, my heart and my mind aren't supposed to be in alignment. If I don't feel like doing something, I have to utilize my mind to push me anyway. If my thoughts are telling me something and my feelings feel some type of way, I have to push, I have to go to war, I have to battle. And no, if they're battling each other, whatever this decision is that you're finding comfort in the battle, we have to take a step back and we have to communicate between our mind and heart until they're on one of accord. If they're not on one accord, whatever it is that you're about to settle into, don't do it. Allow your mind and heart to be in alignment first and then be like, okay, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. This is the 2-1. This is wisdom and knowledge. You guys have the wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom is the exercise of the knowledge that brings you to 3, understanding. So don't put anything in your level of understanding if it's not in alignment of your intellect and how you feel, right? We have the Page of Wands here. We're going forward. We're doing the things. We're taking action. It's giving Lilith going against the grain. Lilith over there in Sagittarius. And then we also want joy in our solar plexus chakra. This is Mars and Uranus over there, and where did I say Mars and Uranus was? In Gemini. Our solar plexus chakra as a collective is in community. Community, communication, and opportunities that'll come out as in a result of us nurturing what we wish to harvest, of us realizing what we are nurturing, what we wish to harvest is actually an act of rebel. It's actually going to go against the grain. It's actually something that we've never done before. We're doing new things. We are in the space of witnessing a new empire being rebuilt, being built before us, you know? So what side are we going to be on? We're focusing on Ketters. I talked about the Ketters, right? And I talked about Aquarius and how Pluto's and Aquarius create transformations up there. We have the Ace of Coins here. So there's definitely Fortune here. We talked about the Fortune. Fortune is over there on Pisces, right on the other side of that Venus energy right now, too. So being in alignment with this mutable cross, realizing that there's multiple ways to go about your abundance, your joy, and the things that you like, and not just that one track mind way that we've been conditioned to believing in. That's where our fortune lies in. And then also we are going to face on some unfairness, some imbalances in the scales. Again, this is what I was talking about when it was like how I think and what I feel and what I think. We want to come back together. They should never be in battle with one another. You know, one should never feel they have to yield to the other. They both should be in agreement. And if you're, like I said, if you're deciding anything that's not in your heart and your mind or back and forth, you need to take a breath, sit back and wait until they're in agreement and then move forward with the decision that you're making. And I promise you it's going to be something different. It might be something scary. It might be something that you were taught, like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. This isn't this, that isn't that. And that's okay. That's okay. We got the strength card. We're moving in our strength. From our heart to our wombs. And just because you're a dude does not mean you don't have a reproductive system. So it's your heart to your balls. I don't know. Your external womb. Okay? So we are focusing on our deep waters and how we harvest them into earth. I really like that card. I've had these decks for 3 years, and I think I'm still pulling cards that I've never pulled before in that deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you guys came in kind of towards the middle end, I'll let you know that we are recording on YouTube. You can go back to the beginning of the video and check me out. Reach out to me if you would like a personal reading. I do astrology, numerology, gematria. My tarot spread readings are donation based. I would love to assist you in your journey. And that's it. I'm going to let y'all go. I love y'all. Bye. Peace, everybody.